Think of taking a massive, fully assembled 4K jigsaw puzzle, right? Instantly breaking it down into like millions of pieces, shipping it across the world, and having it perfectly reassemble itself 60 times a second.
Yeah, which sounds basically impossible.
Right. But welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is exploring how flawless live 4K video is beamed across the globe for you. We're using the technical spec sheet for the Kiloview FN-60. It's an HDMI 2.0 4K bi-directional conversion card. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Well, for a $779 broadcast tool, the FN-60 serves as a highly capable conversion point for high-end video. I mean, it takes those massive 4K, 60 frames per second HDMI inputs and just transforms them on the fly.
Into network streams.
Right, into network streams.
And it's not just, spitting out some generic, heavily compressed feed. We're talking pristine 4.2.2 10-bit HDR color quality.
Which is heavy lifting. And keeping that quality intact across a network brings us to the protocol alphabet soup. You've got NDI, high bandwidth, NDI HX3, SRT, RTMP.
And R2s.
Exactly. For a lot of remote workflows, SRT, or Secure Reliable Transport, is the real hero here. It uses this smart packet recovery mechanism to replace lost data packets in real time.
Even over the unpredictable public internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Which prevents that dreaded video stutter. But what's fascinating here is how the FN-60 leverages those specific protocols to fundamentally change the geography of a production.
How so?
Well, when you integrate this with NDI6 and the NDI bridge utility, you aren't just sending a feed from point A to point B. You're effectively making the global internet function like your own local area network.
Oh, wow, which solves a huge bottleneck for you if you're managing multi-location collaborative live streaming.
Absolutely.
Like you could have a camera operator in London and a director in New York, and because of that protocol efficiency, the latency is so incredibly low, it feels like they're in the exact same room.
Yeah, it paves the way for lag-free remote learning and even like highly secure remote court trials. The network literally becomes the studio.
That's what.
You just no longer have to wire every camera, switcher, and monitor to the exact same physical building.
Okay, I get the appeal of decentralizing the studio, but let me push back on the sheer physics of this setup for a second.
Sure.
If you are constantly encoding 60 frames a second of 10-bit 4K video, the processing power required generates immense heat.
Oh yeah, it gets hot.
And if I'm building out a major broadcast, I need dozens of these cards. Cramming that many intensive processors into a single high-density rack usually leads to extreme thermal throttling, or just outright hardware failure.
Right, and that thermal density is absolutely the breaking point for high-end IP video. But Kiloview actually bypassed that bottleneck by designing the FN-60 to integrate seamlessly into their Cradle Series RFO2 chassis.
Oh, for multi-channel setups.
Exactly. They engineered a specialized triple cooling system specifically to manage this kind of continuous thermal load.
Wait, so they are tackling the heat at both the micro and macro levels. Like the card itself manages the localized heat with high-efficiency microfans and large heat sinks, right?
You got it. And then the RFO2 chassis provides the macro airflow. So it sweeps that dissipated heat right out of the entire rack.
That is smart. And that layered thermal management guarantees stable operation from, what, -4 degrees to 113 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah. I mean, you could reliably push a broadcast from a ski race in the Alps or a marathon in the Sahara without the hardware melting down.
Okay, but operating remotely introduces a completely different hurdle. If your camera is 3,000 miles away, how do you actually operate the physical gear?
Well, the FN-60 solves that by passing network PTZ camera control right through the stream.
Wait, really? You can pan, tilt, and zoom the physical camera over that same network connection?
Yep, right over the same connection. It also simplifies the data retention side. You can record that high-quality feed directly to a NAS drive.
Okay, but managing dozens of these cards remotely has to be a logistical nightmare, right?
It actually doesn't have to be. The KiloLink Server Pro software handles the centralized management. You just drop the chassis onto your network, and the software handles batch configurations and real-time monitoring across your whole hardware fleet.
So it's practically plug and play at that point.
Basically, yeah.
So briefly recapping here, tools like the FN-60 are taking complex, rigid broadcast setups and converting them into these incredibly flexible IP-based network workflows.
Which is a total game changer.
It is. So If broadcast-grade, ultra-low latency 4K video encoding and decoding can be done this efficiently and affordably over standard networks, it leaves you with this to consider.
Uh-huh.
How long until physical, centralized TV control rooms are completely replaced by decentralized remote cloud hubs anywhere in the world?
Mm.
Like, we might not just be translating that high-speed marathon flawlessly. Soon, the production team might not even need a physical room to sit in.